Second Chance in Life Foundation is about to show the African world what happens in the Western world and how everybody with disability be human beings. And it's not about me now, it's about us and everybody with disability and different paralysis, deaf, blind, whatever it is. It's about us, for the African Nigerian government to improve the standard of living for every disabled individual. So I'm in Jersey. This is something I do once a year. The mayor, the governor of New Jersey support this event. It's a show that we are special, we are human beings, we are part of society, and I'm just asking the Nigerian government and the African government to just give us a chance and see that we're just human beings. So we're about to start the parade, and after that I'm gonna rock the show for you guys. Stay blessed. I got Colleen with me. New Jersey Disabled Parade. We did that today, and she's going to explain to you what it's all about, how long the organization has been going on, about things with people with disability, and the message we're just trying to preach today is about hope, life, mind over matter, and we can still do anything. Colleen, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, Colleen. So tell us what you're about, what the organization is about, the improvements that the Nigerian government and the African government could help people with disabilities.
Sure. First off, I really have to thank you for coming out and singing for us today.
No problem.
I really think that it shows, you know, how international disability pride can be, because we have people coming from all over the world to come and sing and to show that people with disabilities, no matter what disability we have, no matter what age we are, no matter what we do for a living, we're out there, we're loud, we're proud, we're passionate about the things that we do.
Loud and proud.
So, Mr. Flint asked me to speak a little bit about the organization that I represent and the wonderful people that have put on this parade that you filmed earlier. It's called the Alliance Center for Independence. It's been around since 1988. And it serves 3 counties in New Jersey, so 3 districts. Somerset, Middlesex, and Union counties. And we serve people with disabilities throughout those 3 counties to assist them in living independent lives, to provide education, advocacy, referral to services, accessible housing. We have a lot of programs that we do throughout the state. This happens to be our marquee event for the year. As you saw, there's tons of people from throughout the state out there. We do a lot of work with people with disabilities to make sure that everybody can be an active participant in their communities, because that's what this is all about. You know, people with disabilities are not, you know, we're out there, we're in the community, we're not in institutions, we're not in hospitals, we're not, you know, locked up in houses. You know, we go to school, we go to clubs, we go to
movies,
we go to work,
we have relationships,
you know,
we do a lot of crazy things. So you know, so Carol, I want you to elaborate. Like, you know, I'm from a country called Nigeria. They feel like if I'm disabled, I should be in the street and somebody give me money that has sympathy for me. So I'd like you to explain to the Nigerian government, you know, what they could do to improve the standard of living, not just for a person in a wheelchair, a deaf person, a blind person, anybody with any form of disability. You know, I'd like you to elaborate to them and things that could be done to improve their life.
Sure. You know, that's a really big topic. We could probably talk about that for like hours on end.
I know, but just give them about 2-3 minutes, you know.
I mean, as I said earlier, it's very important for people with disabilities. The first step is definitely to recognize us as people.
Right.
You know, the disability we have is a very important integral part of our lives. In fact, I say to people, without this disability, I wouldn't be who I am today. So it informs the way I look at life, but at the same time, my disability doesn't prevent me from doing all the things that somebody without a disability also does. The key to this whole process, of course, is you know, people recognizing that we are indeed contributing members of society, and that we are able to do all the things that people without disabilities can do. You know, to be educated is very important. To provide an education for all people, including people with disabilities. And you know, a disability is not only a wheelchair, it's for people who may have a disability that you can't see. You know, may have a disability, they could be walking around, but they still require an education. And that's where it starts. Education of not only the disabled community, but also education of society. Because here we believe in the social model of disability, where disability is, again, a natural part of human diversity. It's as natural as breathing the air that we breathe. It's not confined to medicine. You know, we're not sick. We're disabled, but we're not sick. So I mean, providing physical access to buildings is very important. Providing education, again, providing just awareness programs. Accessible housing is a huge deal.
Big deal.
If you can't get in and out of your house, how are you going to go to work?
Yeah, a lot of people can't get into their house in Nigeria. A lot of people can't get on transportation. So it's like, you know, I need you to explain how the transportation system works, that a person in a wheelchair could be independent by themselves and get on a bus or get on a train, you know?
One of the things that the Alliance does, and it's a very important program, they work with the New Jersey transit system to teach people with disabilities how to board a bus, how to get on the bus, how to use the bus. And most of our buses here in Jersey are fairly accessible. So people can get on with a lift, they get on and they go about their business.
So that was very nice talking to you. Eko ni budget.
Oh, budget.
Lagos, beautiful interview. I'll keep on coming with different topics, different episodes. Stay blessed. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It's nice, and I'll be here next year with another song.
All right, good.
All right, so we got.
Thank you.
Second Chance in Life Foundation, Niger Hip Hop TV, and Flint TV. I present Luke to you. He's going to explain things about people being disabled. It doesn't mean being in a wheelchair alone. A lot of things, what he's about, what the function's about, what he stands for. So Luke, it's nice meeting you today.
Nice meeting you too.
And I definitely need you to elaborate a lot of things, and especially to the African world, so they can understand being disabled just doesn't mean you're just a number.
All right. I worked in a disability, worked with people with disability for a long time, and what I've learned a lot is that people with disabilities have more in common with people without disabilities than with each other. And I think what people need to understand is people with disabilities are just like everyone else. As you said before, have relationships, have hobbies, have jobs, have joy, have sorrow in their lives. And that's really the message about this parade, to celebrate life. And that's really what we're all about.
Okay. So how could you explain to people in when I go to Nigeria, roads are not tied, no transportation, no good hospitals, no recreation centers, standard of living, people with disability, you can't get to restaurants because there's no ramps. So what could you explain to the Nigerian government and the African world so they could help people with disability to be independent?
Well, that's a tough one. I think even before explaining to the government is to explain to people with disabilities that they have a right to get to a store, get to a restaurant, have access to transportation. And I think early in my career, my job was to help people become advocates for themselves and know what is out there, what can they do to advocate for a better society. And I think once people have that empowerment to advocate for themselves, the government tends to pay attention. You can't ignore millions of people, at least in the United States, with disabilities. We have 50 million people with disabilities. You can't ignore them. I don't know what the numbers are in Nigeria.
If you say 50 million, we're talking with disabilities. We're talking about maybe 150 or 200 million with disabilities in Nigeria.
Right. So the key is to getting those people involved in advocating for themselves and helping them to ensure their rights and make sure that the government protects their rights.
And do you think it's because government in Africa and Nigeria sometimes want to leave people with disability ignorant, but don't you think it's better for them to like re-educate people with disability so they can have their own mind and do things for themselves?
Oh sure, definitely. The goal is of having advocating for disabilities is to be as independent as possible, to be part of the community as possible, to contribute to the community as possible. You can't do certain things without accessing stores, accessing government services, accessing transportation. Those things need to be, we need to advocate for them to be in place in order to champion or the rights that people in Nigeria have, just like in the United States.
Okay. So, you know, Luke, it's very interesting talking to you. Eko ni budget.
Obachichi.
Okay, Fashala, I bring magic to you. This is what I do, entertainment, also standard of living with people with disability. Only thing I'm asking you, help us. It's not about me, it's a us thing. I mean, United States, the Western world, is beautiful. I'm not gonna say 100% beautiful, but 90% beautiful, most definitely. Nigeria is like 99.9% not beautiful. And we just human beings just wanna live like how I live in America, do a lot of things by myself, and I don't want to be a burden to nobody. So only thing I'm asking, help other people like me, like us with disability, and make our standard of living better in Nigeria and Africa. Thanks a lot, Lou.
Thank you very much.
I enjoyed every conversation and moment with you.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you.
All right.